Become a member of the National At-Home Dad Network, an organization focused on providing advocacy, community, education, and support. Connecting with households where dad is the primary caregiver of the children. We do this through our webinar and podcast series, mental health support groups, regular online social events, as well as our annual convention. The National At-Home Dad Network is a 100% volunteer organization. Without the generous support of its members and the community around it, we would not be able to continue the work that we do. Becoming a member gives you access to past convention speaker presentations, the ability to vote for board members annually, and ensures that the organization's fees and bills are in positive standing. Oh yeah, it should not go unmentioned that there is some cool swag headed your way if you decide to become a member. For only $35 a year, your membership provides you with the exclusive content only we can generate, and you'll be supporting an organization that benefits families all around the country and world. By advocating for them, offering them community, providing education and guidance, and supporting them to grow in their parenthood journey. And one last thing, if you contribute $500 or more, you will become a lifetime member. Not only will you receive everything already mentioned, but also a certificate recognizing your status and an exclusive National At-Home Dad Network challenge coin with our trademark logo, Dads Don't Babysit. So, what are you waiting for? Become a member today. Welcome to Home Dad Chat, brought to you by the National At-Home Dad Network. My name is Brock.
My name is Danny.
And we are here to talk about life as stay-at-home dads. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
No, I don't want much. I even love handmade crafts made of macaroni. Come on now, you should know me. Times I might eat too much. No worry about my weight, got the dad bod rocking on me. Sketches on my feet, cargo shorts look good on me. I'm a dad, that's what I do.
There, are you happy? I hit record.
I am. I'm very happy. Switch your mic.
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
See, this is why I don't typically do that.
Look at that. Yeah.
This is why I typically don't do this.
Yeah, you send me that message and I'm like, oh, wait, no, hang on. I got to make sure my headphones are right. I got my mic. I got everything ready. Yeah. Check my hair. At least 3 of them are left. So I put them in the right direction.
Yeah, everybody, welcome to the show where we're just going to come right in raw to the whole thing and see where it goes.
It's really funny because I hear a lot of people a lot of times, they say, well, this is real, this is raw, this is unscripted. And I'm like, wait, do you normally have a script? Huh. But I mean, it makes sense if you're like a professional podcaster or radio show or something like that. You want to keep people a little focused, like your speakers, me and you, your host, focused, because I'm never focused.
Yeah,
so
this is like the greatest ADHD show.
It's good for me.
It works. I'm like Doug, man. Squirrel.
Yep. I hid underneath your porch because I love you.
Exactly.
Yeah, my favorite. I love that guy.
How you been, man?
I've been good, tired, worked out today, did my first like major strength training in a long time, and I regret it. And no, I don't regret it, but I'm definitely going to feel it tomorrow and the next day. But yeah, doing well.
Okay.
Yeah, everything seems to be, going swimmingly. The schools are all doing everything the kids are supposed to be doing, everything they're supposed to do in school and all that. And yeah, how about you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. We just came off of a 4-day weekend for fall break, so that was fun. We celebrated Ruby turning 7, and then
yay, happy birthday!
Yeah, and she got all kinds of goodies, and then and her aunties spoiled her rotten as well. But yeah, we went to the Cincinnati Zoo. Had a day where we just kind of hung out at the house. Watched the Bengals win on Sunday, and then we went to the Columbus Zoo on Monday, and that was a lot of fun. Got to feed Stingray, and got to
Ooh,
go on a boat ride with animatronic dinosaurs, and got to see sea lions, and like just
hey,
a lot
man, I
of really
want you to
cool stuff.
host my birthday, man. I don't have anything like that. I don't have any nowhere near that much fun.
It was pretty cool, man. I will tell you this, the one thing that was really quite the highlight for Ruby's birthday was my sister-in-law, Corey's oldest sister, made Ruby a robe.
Hmm.
She'd been asking for a replacement robe, one she had, and so her sister made this amazing robe out of this like super soft fabric. It cost $15 a yard for this fabric, and she did a reversible
Wow,
to it. So on
nice.
one side, it's like white with lettering and some coloring, and it says that all girls, or not all girls, are princesses, but they're superheroes or something like that. And then the other side was like flowers and hummingbirds and things like that. So but it came with like it has this like really cool hood, and it's got pockets on both sides, and then
Oh,
she made
nice.
her like a sleeping mask to wear with it as well.
That's
So
awesome.
she looks like a freaking Jedi when she's walking around like around the house.
that that's even more awesome. I have to
Yeah,
say
right. Yeah,
that makes it better.
and it's like it's super comfy. Like I'll be just like, "Hey, Ruby, come here," and just like hug her like she's like a walking
Hmm.
like stuffed animal.
Nice.
But
Man,
yeah,
let Dad just feel the softness.
yeah, but yeah, no, she made Ruby super happy about that. And then my
I
sister got
bet.
her this like massive squishamal, or yeah, there's a squishmallow that
Hmm.
is like part cat, part unicorn, part mermaid. It's like all the things that you could ever that she could ever
Right.
ask for, and a huge
Yeah.
old squishmallow that's like almost half her size. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I have to say I'm a little jealous. I didn't have a lot of stuffed animals, but I had some stuffed animals, and just like well, yeah, probably three maybe, but never had like one of those giant stuffed animals. It was the size of you, into the one that we got all over today because that's what we get now. Lizzie, every single thing she wants
Yeah.
is whatever it is and a squishmallow. I mean, it's just like, can I add? I'm like, no, no, you have to be able to get into your bed, and you brought all because we didn't throw away any of the stuffed animals really. We put them in a box, and then they were found, and they were like, "Oh, this is the greatest day ever! We got all our stuffed animals back." I'm like, "Awesome! Now I can't make your bed ever again,
Yeah, right.
covered in squishmallows."
Like where's ET and all of that?
Right, just hiding.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, that's the thing. When I was growing up, we had tons of stuffed animals. Like I had an entire toy box full of them. And the thing that we used to do with them was stack them in the doorway and see if we could cover the entire doorway with them and then run through them.
I was gonna say, at what point do you jump into it? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You try to get them up as high as you could go, and then yeah, you just blast through them, and then you do it all over again, and
Hmm.
scare the
Nice.
bejesus out of my mom as she's like walking back towards the bathroom to go pee, and she doesn't make it there because it happens before she hits the
should have been
threshold.
prepared.
Yeah. So, but that's yeah, we didn't really have anything big, but we had plenty of little ones.
Hmm.
Oh man, but yeah, no, it's been good, man. I mean, I can't complain. And honestly, like it was nice to just have 4 days with the family like that, and got to see Matt Lofi while I was up in Columbus. Actually,
Nice.
we had dinner with him, and
Cool.
he
Him and I don't want to say his, but well, he says his kid's name, so I guess it's him and Tuckerman and his
him and
wife.
Tuck.
Everybody.
No, so everybody else had something going on. It was just Matt. And we met at North High Brewing in Dublin, which is an amazing place. We actually, that was like the first place I met him in person because they were doing an event with Pluie for the
Hmm.
self cleaning diaper changing stations.
Hmm.
And he was telling me that he's working with four young dads that are on city council up in Columbus, and they have all signed on $10,000 each to help
Wow.
put in changing stations in men's bathrooms around the Columbus area.
Hmm.
And so he announced that on his Instagram,
Wow.
so that's actually out there. But yeah, super exciting.
Yeah. I think I've always wanted to have enough money to give people money, just to be able to do that. $10,000. Wow.
Yeah. Well,
That's
this is I think out of their like out of their councilman's budget to be able to do that. So
Oh, okay. So it's like
I think that's how it's set up. Yeah.
all right.
Because usually councilmen, they get, I believe they usually get some sort of like budget to work off or whatever. But anyway, yes, that's what's going on there, which is super exciting. I'm super pumped for him on that. And on top of it, like he's taking notes on how it all kind of came about so that, he might be able to share it with other dads in other cities to go to their city council and propose the same ideas and see if it can help like a lot of small businesses that can't maybe afford a diaper changing station in their men's bathrooms. So
yeah, and those are like a step above. I mean, those are the future. The Pluies.
The Pluies are, yeah, and unfortunately,
just the future.
Yeah, man. They are, and these unfortunately are not like the 10,000 is not for the Pluies themselves, from what I understand. But like it's something definitely that to work towards. But yes, the Pluie changing tables are freaking, they're awesome. And I wish that they could get that even more off the ground than where they're at right now, because it's a very big necessity. And the technology is perfect for just what's coming down the road. So,
and I know you and I know it, but for anybody listening that doesn't know what a Pluie is, it's basically a self-sanitizing changing station. And it just blows my mind because the number of, just to find one was a big thing, of course. But when you did, the number of times that it had something on it.
Yeah.
What was that? You don't know. So you have to get your wipe out and do the whole thing. Hope you have disinfecting wipes too. And okay, I'm going to put my pad down on the changing table. So that's amazing that it does that there, because it's infrared light, isn't it? That just kind of like,
it's UV light. Yeah.
UV light.
When it closes, the UV light turns on. And I believe in like 45 to 60 seconds, it's a completely sanitized surface for the next kid. So it's pretty awesome. I need to get a hold of Pluie and see if we can get them on to talk more about it, because they're doing some pretty cool stuff. And we've talked about them a few times on this show. I think we need to get them on to actually have them tell us more about it.
Them explain, right?
Yeah.
instead of you and I kind of hacking our way through it,
bumbling through it. Yeah,
I heard it was this. No, actually, it doesn't do anything like that. You guys need to stop. Call a professional and get them to
they got these lightsabers from the Jedis and they put them in there.
It's just like put them in there. Wow, wow, and no germs. Yeah,
it's the Darth Maul of there's two of them. It's awesome. Oh my gosh, yeah. So anyway, that's what we were doing.
And how's Matt?
Matt's good, man. He's doing well. Just really, I think he's just doing really well at his job and having fun with the kids. Tuckerman actually turned 3. I think like the day after Ruby turned 7. So he was busy doing his stuff with his kiddo too. But yeah, their family's doing really well. Sounds like I'm hopefully gonna get to go back up there. I've got 2 Triceratops barley wines sitting back here from the beer share that I am going to be taking up, and I'm trying to coordinate it to where me, Sean, and Matt all get together. We're hopefully gonna. My plan is to go to a Blue Jackets game for the first time ever, because I've never actually been to a professional hockey game. I've been to lots of semi-pro stuff, but to go to an NHL game would be awesome. And then basically hang out with them and drink cocktails and drink barley wine and have a good time with it.
and again, for those who don't know, Matt Lofi is half of the hosting team of the Dad Ass podcast. And Sean Diddy's the other side. So
yeah,
love those guys, by the way. Listen to their podcasts and really, they start out right. It's mediocre. It's fine. It's and for anybody that doesn't listen, that's literally their tagline. It's mediocre. I was making a joke that Brock would get that we're not putting the show down.
It's all right.
It's just so anybody listening is like, oh, I guess I shouldn't listen to that guy. No, they're pretty good. Yeah,
no, they're good. They're good guys for sure. So, but yeah, I mean, and other than that, just enjoying the warm weather while it's still around down here, because it's going to start getting cold soon. But that's kind of that time. Actually, what's really cool is the fact that we haven't had a heavy enough rain around here for it to like knock the leaves out of the trees. And so like every day that it's like sunny out, you have these like just beautiful, just bright trees lit up with these
Yeah.
amazing colors. And it's just, I took the dog for a walk today and just, I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
stop looking up in the sky. I was like, I'd come to an intersection, be like, oh, I need to look both ways before I cross, or else I'm going to get like pancaked.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, look at the oak
What
trees.
happened? Right. What happened? How'd you get hit by a car? Oh, I was just staring at the leaves.
Got squished like an acorn.
And Georgia, I mean, I should say the Georgia mountains do have a spectacular fall color, but nothing anywhere that I lived was ever just like breathtaking. Spring was amazing. Spring was by far the most beautiful part of the year, just like with everything growing and blooming and all that stuff. But the fall was kind of meh. I mean, the leaves are just starting to change because it's just still too warm, and I'm like, by October, whatever, by November. Yeah. And then it just kind of all just drops to the ground and dies, but like you said here too, the colors are just so vibrant, just so vivid, the yellows that goes to oranges, some of the trees that go straight to just a red color.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing. We've taken a lot of good shots up here, driving around. And then when we walk around the neighborhood too, we do our walks, because sometimes Marnie walks with me.
Yeah.
And it's just like breathtaking.
I love it when you get like high up and you're like coming down and you just like have trees all down below you. It's so neat. It just looks like a canvas with like paint on it. That's so cool. So
I was going to try to get a hot air balloon.
Ooh.
And do that for like our like half year anniversary celebration or whatever. I don't know how to put it, but like, okay, so let's just do this and then be able to get up and get above and see all of it. But they were already booked for this entire year. And this was August when I went looking.
I was gonna say I know a guy, but he lives in Indiana, so
yeah.
I actually have a pilot, hot air balloon pilot friend.
Nice.
Is my dad's friend actually, but still. But yeah, I was like, I might be able to get a hold of him, maybe find a guy for you from in that neighborhood. He knows like a guy in every single state, it seems like.
Yeah. We're all right. We are gonna, if it works out weather-wise, we're gonna take a train ride.
There you go.
There's a place just about an hour away, and I can't remember the name of it right now, unfortunately, but they do train rides through the trees and through the foliage change. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be all right. And then I love trains, and I'm going to just assume that my children love trains, because if they don't, they're monsters and they need to find another family, I guess, because trains are awesome. But I am assuming that everybody would want to do that. But Marnie was pretty hyped about it. She thought it was a great idea. So
is your train what's the word I want to use here? Infatuation. Is it as big as Sheldon Cooper's train infatuation?
No.
No.
No. I think again, it's I am a broad type of fan. I like all the things, but I'm not very deep into the fandoms. I'm like, I love Star Wars. I love Star Trek. And then somebody will be like, well, did you see that Red 5 was it? I'm like, no, stop. Like Lord of the Rings. Josh and I were talking about it. Joshua Damascus and I were talking about it today and yesterday, I think. And he was just so mad about the Rings of Power. And I'm like, have you seen Frozen? And he's like, yes, I've seen Frozen, and I would rather see Frozen every single moment for the rest of my life than ever have to watch Rings of Power again. I'm like, let it go.
Wow. Yeah, let it go.
So he's got that depth. He's got depth, for his fandom. I don't. I just like the top, I don't want to like imply that I'm a shallow person per se, but my joy of things is multiple mini lots everywhere things, not one or even five things very deeply. Again, ADD.
You enjoy walking in a pool of ankle high water where you can pick up little bits of everything from all of the world of geekdom. I like that. It's pleasurable in its own way, and still, you don't have to worry about getting too soaked into one thing. So like how I did
Mark Twain, he said specialization is for insects.
He
And
also
that's the
said come
truth
to
of it.
he also said come to Cincinnati if you want to know what it feels like to live 20 years prior. So probably one of my favorite quotes. He's like
It's, are you missing the past? Go to Cincinnati.
go to Cincinnati. It's okay. Yeah, exactly. Oh shoot. Well, also too, with it being that it's what I call campfire, like bonfire season type of deal, sit around the fire, light up a cigar, drink some
Mhm.
bourbon, that kind of thing. Um, I had put out to my local dads group. I was like, hey, like we haven't done a dad's night out in a while, what would you guys like to do? And I got a resounding back from like the majority of the guys that I hear from most often. I just want to go sit around a fire, maybe have a drink, have a conversation. Anybody who smokes a cigar, bring it, that kind of deal. Like I just want to have that connection with the other dads. And I'm like, perfect. Like I love that because it's so
Mhm.
different than some of the other dad groups. And not saying that other dad groups are wrong in the way that they do things. They're doing what their dads want to do.
Mhm.
Um, but like I love the fact that our group just wants to get together and just be guys talking and just enjoying
Yes.
like that side of things. And so like I was super excited. I'm like, oh, this is so great. Like I called up David McMillan. I'm like, dude, are you free on this night? Like, is this possible? And he was like, oh yeah, totally. He's like, we can have it up at my place because he's got such a
Oh,
big
even
area.
better. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's got such a massive area for being able to host something like that. And so I put it out, and I've already got like about 10 guys, I think, that are going to be showing up to it. So I'm pretty
Sweet.
excited about that.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I just, I like the idea of just being able to do the dad's night out once a month. And when I, when I Uber, I always run into couples. It's like they start talking about their kids to me, and I'm like, "Hey, you're a dad." Like, and it's like if they're in a certain area, I'm like, "Hey, like, if you're interested, like, I run this group," and they're always just like, "Oh, that's cool." And I've had
Mhm.
maybe like a couple of guys actually take me up on it, but I ended up having a couple actually in my car this weekend who they were out on their first date since they had their first baby,
Yes.
and it was like
Yes.
she's 6 months old, and they kept had grandma or grandpa or something like that like hanging out with them, and I was just like, congratulations, like seriously, like getting to do that,
Mhm.
that is definitely the hardest step, is taking that first initial out the door. And they had a great time. They went to one of the local restaurants here in the area, and then I took him home. We talked the entire way, and I was like, hey, like, you live really close to actually where we're doing a dad's night out on Thursday. And he was like, that sounds really cool. So who knows? He might show up. We'll see. But it was just, I love that. That's what I enjoy about driving Uber, is getting to talk to other parents.
Mhm.
So
I absolutely would enjoy that, but I would only do like 3 fares a night because we would sit in their driveway and talk for an hour. And I'd be like, dude, don't you got to go to work? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sorry. So, but I'll be here next week for your son's bar mitzvah. And thanks for the
Yeah,
invite to your kids, orchestra recital. I mean, it would be that kind of,
sure.
friendship immediately. So,
I've been driving Uber for 5.5 years. And it wasn't until Saturday night that I had the inevitable happen, and I got a puker
oh,
without knowing it. Like, it wasn't somebody that looked like they had any signs of it for whatever
mhm.
reason. Like, it was a weird situation, but yeah, that was not fun, other than receiving the cleaning fee for said event, which is that part was nice because I didn't spend any money to clean it up. So but I'm like, but I was just like, this killed my night. So I was like, I had to go clean my car out. It wasn't
Yeah.
awful, but it was bad enough. But anyway,
Well, yeah,
yeah.
even a small amount too.
Oh
Just
gosh,
the
yeah,
smell and everything. And nobody's going to get in your car.
yeah.
Well, they might, but they're not going to tip you for
I'm
letting
in
them
there
drive
like
around in the vomit.
every day for breezing the car, like doing all kinds of stuff to it. Like it still is not quite back to the smell that it should be, but it's not as bad as it was. So
Yeah.
yeah. Don't
Yeah,
puke in
you've got a lot of
people's overs.
practice from having kids, I'm sure.
Right, yeah.
It's a thing.
I actually took a page out of your playbook, sir. I actually had a box of gallon size Ziploc bags beside my seat, and when the guy like went, I went, I like opened it up, like, here, take this, and like kept driving because I was just like, we were on the highway when it's like I can't stop.
We cannot stop. Throw up in the bag, sir.
Oh gosh, but I was like, I'm so glad I have like Danny's emergency vomit bags here.
Right. Right. And it only has to happen once for it to have paid for itself, for it to have, made for every investment that you've had to have. Because one time, especially if it's an adult, man.
Yeah.
I can't imagine like me. I don't know, me or even Marnie, if we were on a road trip and the other one's in the back and they get like car sick or something. No, trip's canceled. We're going to set the car on fire and just go home. No, it would be awful. But again, the bags savory.
We had a situation like that with Hezekiah when he was younger. He got car sick, and oh my gosh, that was awful. Because at that point you're just like, you take him and the car seat and everything, you just put it in the shower and just turn it on. Like, there's just no other way. And then it's like try to clean the car out the best you can.
Yep.
Oh yeah, fun times.
And the funniest part of it is most of the most hilarious stories that I think I have, and maybe you have too, of my kids that would make me laugh and make them laugh and make other people laugh, revolve around throwing up or poop.
Oh yeah.
It's just, I'm like, what happened in my life? What changed where I went from never even wanting to say poop, much less even talk about it. We don't want to talk about poop. I don't want to talk about poop, to being the poop smith. I mean, just the man that can just, no, I can handle it. I changed a dirty diaper and a vomit in my shirt and tie in the church parking lot.
Yeah.
In the back of my van or whatever. Where did I get this?
And is one of you like that person that can handle all that grossness, and the other one sort of like I can't do it type of person? Like, I will if I have to. Like, I will pull my bootstraps up if it's just like the last possible thing. But God, I hope Danny's there to take care of it, because that's where I'm going.
We definitely hope the other one's there to take care of it.
Okay.
Absolutely. But no, we're both, Marnie is, practically a farm girl. She's seen it all, and
well, and she's
her time
police officer too.
Honestly, as a police officer, those are stories. Yeah, those are stories that we would start talking about. How was your day and stuff, or when other people were over for dinner or whatever, and people would say, "How was your day?" And I would go, "Marnie, no, don't tell stories. I don't want to hear anything about your job. Nobody here wants to hear about it. Do not start it. We're eating," because it was just the worst of the worst.
Oh, I always enjoyed hearing stories from people. But no, but with us, I'm the guy I have no problem, cleaning up all that stuff. But Corey, like, nope. She's like, she will make it very well known when she has to do it. Like, because I'll come home and be like, you won't believe what happened. Like, there was one time where even the dog, she was like, that dog threw up on the carpet. Like, I cleaned it up the best I could. Like, and I went over there and I was like, well, I mean, it's the best you could. Like,
we're gonna just end it there because there's no reason to criticize.
I'm like, I'll get the Lysol and everything. I'll take care of it from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know, and I think that's that's part of parenting. Like, you've gotta. That's the yin and yang of it, I believe, in a lot of ways.
There's a meme, and I love memes, obviously. There's a meme that says a married couple basically consists of one person who does not like pickles and the other person who will eat that pickle.
That's me.
That's Marnie will. She'll drink the juice, and I'm like, you're disgusting. You are a terrible human being. I don't.
Wait,
no.
When we were at North High, this was the greatest thing ever, honestly. So we're at North High, and you look at the appetizer list, and on the appetizer list, it has at the very top a jar of pickles. Like, that's what it said. And I'm like, I have never in my entire life seen that as an item on an appetizer. At a brewery.
Because
so I asked the waiter, I was like, hey, Just curious, what is this jar of pickles? What is that exactly? He's like, oh, we brine our own pickles for like 7 to 10 days,
Ah.
and we bring it out, and it's like thinly cut, like cucumber slices that have been pickled. And he's like, it's our own special brine and everything, and it comes in this like nice little jar or whatever. And my son Hezekiah and I, we look at each other and we're like, yes, please. Corey and Matt are like, y'all are gross. And like they
Yeah.
show up and they're like these fun little like toothpick things that you have to bring them out. So we're sitting there just literally just eating
Mhm.
pickles out of the jar. Like we're having a grand old day. We finish it all up and I just like look around and I'm like, I'm drinking this juice. Like this is gonna be good.
Oh.
And I turned to Matt and I was like, do they make a pickle beer here? And he's like, I don't think so. And I just took a big swig and I was like, I think they need to use this brine for it. He's like, oh.
No, sir. You need to go to the doctor and see if you have some kind of mineral deficiency. There's something wrong.
I got plenty of sodium in me. I'm good.
I guess you do after a jar of pickle juice.
That's right.
But I will say there's something to say about a homemade brine.
Yes.
And homemade pickles that's a different, and it's like craft beer. You know, if you're used to, I don't know, Schlitz, something Bush off of the counter, and you get into more craft beers, it's a difference. It is.
Oh, sure.
Same thing. I think for me, from my experience with pickles, my nephew came up a few months ago, and he made pickles like that night. And he said, I don't have time to really brine these, so it's going to more be kind of like a vinegary cucumber salad kind of thing. It was amazing. It was great, and I don't like pickles normally, but again, that quality. So, but it's so funny they have it on their menu.
They do. They have it on their menu. The one thing too, so you know how you said you didn't have internet on your plane when you were flying back from Home Dad Con. When I was flying out though, I took Southwest, and you can watch a movie typically. Like I had plenty of time to do it, and they had a movie on there called The American Pickle, and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah,
it's Seth Rogen, okay, and he's really funny, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Rogen, and the beginning of it starts out with this like it's back in I don't know like early 1900s, maybe even like late 1800s. He's a Jewish man who decides that he's going to come across to America and try to make his own life over here. And he starts working for a pickle factory, and they're brining pickles and everything. And apparently like the conditions are not good there. And on the day where they're going to close the factory to condemn it, he falls into one of the vats of pickles, and they close it up right after he falls in. And he's in there for like 100 years, and the pickle brine like keeps him like, in a state of like animation.
Yeah, sure.
And then of course, like somebody comes in, and bumps it like in Captain America or whatever, and the lid falls off of it, and he pops out 100 years later, and he's in New York City, and so like it just basically turns into the story of one, he's trying to find somebody that like is a relative, which he does. He finds another Seth Rogen lookalike who is, from this era. And two, he's trying to just sort of like find out his way. It's really funny. He starts making pickles, which is great.
Good. Yeah.
Starts selling them to people. But there's like a whole nother story to it, but it's just really funny. Like, I mean, it's just that comedy that I feel like is missing in many ways in the cinematic world. But Seth Rogen does a great job of playing himself and this older guy. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was pretty funny. It's like the second Jewish movie that I've seen that involves pickles. I don't know exactly what that is. I guess I need to ask Ariel or somebody, or maybe Josh, like what the deal is with pickles in the Jewish culture, because there's another movie that Adam Sandler does where he's the son of a cobbler, and the way that they stay young is that they drink pickle juice, and like it's very odd, but it's a very funny comedy as well. So I don't know, pickles in movies. What know? Who would have knew?
Yeah, right. Well, all I know is Pickle Rick, and I'm pretty sure you don't know who that is. So
from Rick and Morty.
Yes.
I don't know. Like I'm like you.
Pickle Rick.
I'd say at this point, I'm walking in that ankle high water
Mhm.
for the Rick and Morty. So.
Rick and Morty aren't for you. So
No,
I don't mean that in any way judgmentally at all, but it's a little, it's
I know it's not for me. That's why I've never watched an actual episode. It's all good.
But
my days of getting to watch that kind of stuff are far gone. So,
but Pickle Rick is hilarious, and
okay,
yeah. And so
cool.
for all my other Rick and Morty fans, you get it.
They know they got it. They're all excited about.
We won't have to talk about it. They're gonna watch that episode right now.
Oh man. Well, you've been busy. We're going to turn the page a little bit here, kind of get things going. So you've been busy talking to people about coming on the show. I also, in our, just craziness of life, we forgot to basically say that last episode was our 90th episode. That's the 90th episode that was recorded last week. Just you and I hanging out. But that means that we're 10 away from 100. So this is 91. And you've got some guests lined up for the next few weeks, which is pretty awesome. I'd love to see us get more guests on as we amp up. But at the same time, I'd like to hear from some of our fans what they might like the 100th episode to look like too, just to get us some ideas, because really Danny and I are trying to figure that out exactly.
All three of you
need
to get together and send us a message.
What is that? That would be what Jeremy Bernstein, Joshua Bernstein, Josh Domash, and David Yoakum. Is that those are 3 guys? I don't know.
Eric.
Eric Shorberg. Okay, that's God. 4. Yeah. That's 4. Joe says he listens, but I don't know. Maybe,
but it's there. It's there. Ed used to listen, but I don't know if Ed still listens. Listens. That's all right. That's fine.
I think. Sergio listened. I saw him comment. So we've got guys. I bet we have at least 10 solid guys. There's a lot.
Double digits, baby.
I mean, our audience is way bigger than that. Let's be honest. We're doing really well. I'm not going to lie. Like, we've got a good audience base, so I'm very happy about that. We joke though.
So how do people get in touch with us? How do people tell us these things? I know Anchor, you can call in and leave a message.
Anchor, you can call and leave a message, but it's super short, but totally worth it. You can also just email us at podcast@athomedad.org. That's going to come directly to Danny and I. So that's honestly the best. I feel like that's the best way to do it, is just to email us that. The other way is that you can just comment on one of the posts that we put on too. We love interaction on social media. So, that would be another way to reach out to us and just give us what you would like to see for that 100th episode. So, but Danny, you've been reaching out to some different guys. I feel like you've got a really cool start to a really neat segment coming up. So why don't you tell me and tell the listeners a little bit about what you're brewing up?
My idea came, or I probably started about 3 or 4 years ago when people were mentioning the board members.
Yeah.
And I went, who? Oh, we have a board. Cool. I don't know what a board is. I mean, a board of directors like in corporations, and they're, people that are not my type, honestly. I don't
who are these yahoos?
Who are these guys? So, but realizing it from that point that I really didn't know who they were, and I could get their names or whatever, but I really hadn't met any of them. And then I get to the point where I'm going to be on the board. Really before that, when I was volunteering and we started the podcast, I just feel like everyone should get to know our board members a little better.
Yeah.
Just know who they are, what kind of person they are, what kind of dad they are, what they're into, what their hobbies could be. And it kind of gives you a better idea of who you're voting for first, if you're a paying member. But secondly, it gives you a better idea, I think, of who's moving the organization in which direction, where the organization is headed, and what the ideas are, and the amount of work that the board puts in on a really just a constant basis.
Yeah.
We always have a conversation going, it seems like, on Slack. And for those that don't know, Slack is basically it's kind of like Discord or
WhatsApp,
WhatsApp and all those things. It's basically a collaboration texting file sharing type app, and it's great, but it goes off constantly. There's always something going on, and it's all the conversations about not only the convention, which is of course a huge thing for us, but really how we can move forward in helping dads in our 4 pillars.
Yeah.
And getting to the nitty gritty of it to where we can help people directly. And like, we want to, we're a nonprofit, but at some point we want to grow to a point where we can help other people. And that's one of our main goals, is to go out into like before we do the service project in Phoenix.
Yeah.
That was a moment where we could go out and help somebody simply because we could. And that was mostly manpower, of course, but offering the scholarships, helping someone get to the convention, and all of these things that we do. So there's a committee and there's a board behind that, and the driving force of it, and who those people are. I think anybody that listens to this show regularly kind of gets an idea of who we are, and we're both board members at this time. But for the rest of them, like, who's the president, who's the vice president, who's the secretary, who's doing what, and what's going on in the organization, and even the newest members, because I've only been on a year, so I've got 2 more years at least that I'm going to be, quote unquote, influencing, the direction of the organization. So I really feel like we need to just sit down with them and have a conversation about who they are. Like I said, talk about their family, talk about their kids, how long they've been an at-home dad, what their hobbies are and who they are as people. So we have a better idea of where we're going as an organization.
Why they would endure this bombardment of conversations that just keep coming over the phone and having to deal with their spouses going, "Are you on your phone again?"
Yep. Marnie has said multiple times, wow, you're really popular. No, I'm not even in this conversation. It's just going over there without me by itself.
These
we'll
two
be
dudes
talking
in the
about things,
corner.
right? They're just having a conversation, and that's great. And
well, that's why for this past weekend, I just got on and was like, hey, like, I'm taking 4 days with my family. Like, I'm turning the notifications off. I won't be, like, if you need me in the hugest capital letters possible, text me. Otherwise, like, I'll see you all on Tuesday. And it was great. Like, there's like, have a great time. Bye. And it's like, that's the one thing that I really want people to know is like, yes, there is lots of conversation, but there's also the ability to hit the pause button and it not be a big deal.
Yeah, that's a big thing for people joining. Well, anytime, it's like with Discord, it's the same way. I have so many people, I really can't do Discord. There's so many notifications, and I don't have those notifications because I go in and mute them. And I go back and look, when I need to, unless it's someone like, if you mention me, then it'll ping me or whatever. But like, you guys sitting there talking about whatever you're talking about, you don't need me in that conversation.
Dude, I completely sign out of Discord when I'm driving for Uber because I can't see directions typically because I've got freaking banners popping up on my screen the entire time I'm driving.
Yep.
So I think that that's going to be really cool to get to talk to the different board members and just really get a chance to kind of peel back the layers of the organization and show everybody who's behind the curtain. Like I feel like that's a question that gets asked a lot is, oh, so and so does that. I didn't even know that he was even a thing or whatever. So
right. And also the ability to present to people the opportunity that they have, to our members that they have.
Yeah.
If you want to be on the board or you want to volunteer, you want to help the organization, there's a place for you.
Yep.
So
and I feel like that was
people to get into that.
I feel like that was a big thing this past convention, was really talking to people about volunteering in different ways. And we've got some different guys that are in that place. The convention always seems to be the big one. Like, we always get guys that are like, I want to do this, or they like, how can I help out? Or they just want to kind of be in the room and see how things are. There's always a couple guys that are like, I want to be in the convention committee, but I have absolutely no idea what to do for you. So I'm just going to sit here. And if you need me, initiate, like whatever, like boom, like send me on a task or whatever. And that's great. If you just want to be a wallflower, and speak in little bits and pieces of things,
bingo,
like, then that's great. Like, that's a voice that's still valuable and needed. And there's like the It's not called Jedi. It's JDEI.
Hmm.
That's basically working towards just being a larger welcoming group for just the mass of dads from all backgrounds.
Hmm.
Um, that's one that I would love to see some more guys jump into, honestly. Just because I feel like there's a,
So JDEI,
I
people
don't
may
know the
be familiar with
names.
DEI. Okay. So
You
it's
tell me.
justice, diversity, uh, equity, equality, oops, and
Equality,
inclusion.
inclusion. Okay. Yeah.
Diversity and inclusion were the biggest ones that I think I've been most familiar with. And DEI has been a thing for a couple of years, at least, if not longer. But JDEI has just been added in probably in the last 6 months or a year,
Yeah.
um, just to kind of help understand that, yes, we can talk about diversity and we can talk about inclusion, but we also need to talk about what the justice of a situation is. What is the just thing to do, to how to treat someone, how to talk to someone, how to talk about someone, and all of those things. So
Yeah.
it was, I will say it really is a place that I kind of stayed away from, because it was originally more about diversity, and I'm just an old white guy, so I'm the least diverse person out there, and had to stay back from it. And I wanted to help, but I'm like, okay, I don't know what you want me to do because I can't talk to so many things that you run into. Um, but I'll say I did get an invitation to be a part of the JDEI
Yeah.
from Sergio,
Nice.
and I'm honored and humbled by that. But I think a lot of what I deal with my children, especially my oldest kid being gay and being transgender, it kind of gives me a better insight into some of those things, I think, where it makes it okay for the old white guy to be in that particular group too. So
But yeah, so so that group, I feel like, and that too, that group was a like back in the day was called just the welcoming committee type of deal.
mhm.
Greg Washington was a huge
Yeah.
proponent for that, and I want to make sure that his name gets put on that because he was like the driving
Hmm.
force for that group for many years, and he did some amazing things with it. I think that some of the things that he wanted to do with it never came to fruition. But
Hmm.
I hope that with sort of this new fire lit in the JDEA or JDEI, that they would be able to kind of do some of that and even more than what Greg was trying to do. So, but he definitely paved the way
Yes.
for a lot of what this organization is about and what they're doing now. And I guess I just want to applaud that. Like I miss Greg. I'm hoping to see him up in Milwaukee. He's freaking close enough being up just in Madison. So I hope that happens. But
Yeah.
yeah.
And if you're out there listening, G, we'd love to see you, man. But your choice, man. You make me feel bad. It's all right. Yeah, I'll
and
cry a little, but
I'll put this little plug in here too for anybody who doesn't know. Greg Washington is one half of the Booze Brothers show that's on Friday nights at 9 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook. Doug Ziegler, I believe, is the his
mm-hmm.
co-host, and then
Zeigler. Yep.
yeah, and then he usually has like guests and stuff on, but just a great place to just sit and talk beer and just have a good time, just kick
Do
back
you
and have fun.
do you know Lauren Yee?
I do know Lauren Yee. Yeah.
Yeah, from This Us Now, and well, that's where
I
I
know
know her
Lauren.
from.
I know her from way back before that even. I know her from her Lego days. So yeah.
All right, yeah, yeah. Well, that she was on that, and she was a part of
Yeah.
that, and I went, "What? Really? Man, it's a small world." Because that was really a
Yep.
surprise to me. But I don't know how to put this. I love her.
She's great.
She's amazing.
She's
She's
great.
just
Yep.
amazing.
Yeah, she so her and I have we've become good friends over the past few years with dad too. Actually haven't talked to her here lately just because life is crazy, but we've commented back and forth on social media. She's a wonderful woman who does some amazing things. The This Us Now
Mm-hmm.
that she's involved with is quite interesting. Like she had actually come to me and a few other people kind of asking different things about it to get it started and stuff. But
Mhm.
she's just a thinker. She's always kind of like you just see the cogs turning the entire time.
Yeah.
She's
Always curious,
Yes.
always like looking at everything differently, turning it upside down. And and this is absolutely a compliment, a very childlike view of the world.
Yes. She's
You know,
got
the
tons
ability
of
to-
energy.
Yeah. And just look
Yeah.
at it and go, ooh, what's this? Oh, well, I'm going to turn it upside down. What is it now? And it's just amazing.
Yep. When she comes into a room, the energy level like gets cranked up to maximum. It's great. And that was one of the things that really drew me to her when I went to Dad too. And her team that she had there were a blast. She was the one, like, you saw like me in a Lego bow tie at Home Dad Con. It was her team that I got that Lego bow tie from. And
Oh, cool.
yeah, so because what she used to do was work with after school STEM program with Legos. And so that was, she was coming to Dad too, just to sort of like connect with other dads and figure out ways to do things with them in different cities and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm glad to see that she was able to pivot away from it, because like the pandemic kind of just like squished that whole thing that they had going on at that time. So it was great to see her take on a new role. So yeah, definitely no Lauren. She's great. Yeah, man. So we've got guests coming up next week. We've got Brian, right?
Is that November? Yeah.
November 1st.
Yep.
Brian Anderson's going to be coming on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, why
Brian
not?
Anderson with Fathering Together
Yeah.
has written a book titled Fathering Together, but is headed the organization Fathering Together for quite a while. I met him in Cincinnati last year at Home Dad Con. He did a breakout, and it was just cool. I loved talking to him. I loved everything that he had, to going on there, and then have kind of kept touch with him, I guess, or kept an eye on him as he developed his book, and now his book's out.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about his book a little bit.
I'm excited about that. It's going to be great. Yeah, because he's a great presenter, and I think that he'll come with a lot of energy for that. So I'm looking forward to that next week. Other than that,
we
man,
we have to do a Thanksgiving show. We have to get a Christmas holiday, winter holiday, all those, I don't know, just Christmas and Hanukkah is the only thing I can ever think of, unfortunately, but do a holiday show, and then got a members drive coming up, because first of the year is when all the members renew. So we want to see what we can do through December to convince people to send me a Christmas present. Be a member. That's my Christmas present. That's what I want. Be a member of the organization. That's what,
just following what Danny asked me to do.
He just, just trying to make the old man happy. He's only got another 30 years left. He's take care of him.
Oh, shoot. But yeah, so we'll have some fun shows coming up, and walking up to the 100th episode, and close out the year, and
no
all that
idea
jazz.
What to do for that.
Don't either, man. I'm just like we're at 100. Well, even just the fact that we're coming to 100 episodes is kind of surreal. So it's kind of hard to wrap my mind around, but I'm excited about it. So, and I feel like there's plenty more for us to do down the road too. So it's not like we're 100 and dying. So we're gonna keep on chugging this train down the road. So
much stuff to talk about with being a parent, and just so much going on.
Yeah, for sure. But until next time, we'll talk to y'all next week. So y'all have a great week.
Good night, everybody.
I'm a dad, that's what I do.